channel. In today's video, I'm going to share with you guys 5 resources that I used when I was studying for my ACT. So before we get started, if you're new here, welcome, my name is Ritika. Please go subscribe down below, and yeah, let's get right on into it. So quickly I'll talk about my scores on the ACT. So I got a 36 overall. I got a 35 on, I believe, the reading section, and then I got a 36 on math, a 36 on science, and then a 36 on English. So yeah, let's just get started. Resource number 1 is Up Your ACT Score by Chris Arp. It's a book, it's kind of thin, it's like probably 150 pages or so, but honestly it was the very first thing I read when I was studying for the ACT, and this was like before I even knew what the structure of the exam was, and it's really good at giving you a quick overall overview of what the exam is, and then helping you to really attack the ACT exam in a way that's, I found, is different than most books. Instead of just telling you, this is going to be on the exam, this is what you should know, etc., it's like, this is how the exam writers think, and this is what they're going to trick you on, this is what they're trying to get you to think, but in reality the answer is this. So especially when you're going to try and get a perfect score, if you're trying to do really well in a really short time, because I started studying for my ACT in about March or April, and I took the ACT in July. So it was good because I needed something that would help me in a short span of time to learn kind of what I needed to know in general, and then also what tricks the exam used, so that I was just prepared overall to do well. I definitely would say just go read through it once and take notes on things that you're not used to, or things that they say that are uncommon, or things they say that they're probably going to trick you on, because that's what I think the best part of this book was, because it really got it right on what the exam readers were trying to do to you, or the exam writers, not the readers. The exam writers were trying to do to you, and how they were trying to trick you. So yeah, I would definitely suggest doing this book first. Okay, the next resource I use is actually not free, but I would highly recommend. It's on the ACT website, it's their ACT Online Prep, and I only bought it for a month, so I bought it in June, and I did it for the month before my exam. But it's just hundreds and thousands of questions that are probably going to be on the ACT practice exams, and just, it's material that's given to you by the actual people that wrote the exam, and I always think that that's the most important material to use, because that's the closest to the test level. Using exams written by other prep books like Kaplan, Princeton Review, that's great, but if you're doing things and you're really close to the exam, and it's the month before the exam, you want to use the material that the exam writers provide, because it gives you the best judgment of how you're actually going to do, and how they would write the exam, honestly. It just gives you the closest idea to what you're actually supposed to expect on test day, and to me that I think is the most important thing, because you can take as many practice exams as you want of written by other companies, and you can learn as much, but they're not all going to use the same tricks, because ACT has certain tricks they like to use over and over again, and I think that taking their practice exams gets you familiar with those tricks. The third resource that I used is the ACT Prep Black Book, and I'm going to be completely honest, I didn't really use this for much more than grammar, so I would recommend checking it out from the library, because it is kind of expensive, and I bought it, and in hindsight that was not the best decision, because the rest of the book isn't so useful, wasn't so useful to me, the math part and the science part, but I think the grammar, they did a really good job of breaking it down, especially for someone who's not very good at grammar, because I wasn't. But I really only read through it in the last 2 weeks before my exam, and I just took notes on the basic, very basic grammar stuff, period, semicolon, etc., because knowing the nuances of those is very important, I would say. So yeah, I only really use that for grammar. I can't attest to any of the rest of the book, but it did a really good job with grammar, so I liked it. Resource number 4 is Khan Academy. So I don't remember if Khan Academy has ACT prep or not, but when I was using it, it had SAT prep, and I used the Khan Academy's math SAT prep, because the math SAT prep and the ACT prep are kind of similar. So if you're looking for more math practice that's on the same level, I would definitely use the Khan Academy SAT prep, because they do a good job of creating a personalized plan, and so if there are things that they're not going to ask you those questions over and over again. So when Khan Academy starts to be repeated things that you know already, then you know that you probably know most of the math material. So yeah, I would definitely suggest using Khan Academy's math. If they have ACT, then that's great, but if they don't, then the SAT, because that was fantastic for me. So the other biggest thing that I know a lot of people had trouble with is the science section and just not having enough time to finish it. The beauty of the ACT science section is that you don't have to know any material from outside of whatever's written in the exam, and I think that's just great because all you have to do is literally do another English section or like a reading section, but just without, like, with the content being science-based. So my suggestion for that is just to get faster at reading science articles. So read the science news every day, even if it's like one article or like something basic. Just find something that's interesting to you and read it, because if you can get your brain to like reading science, then it's going to read it and comprehend it quicker. And then, so yeah, I would suggest, like, as a resource, just like search up science news. That's what I did, and I read like 1 or 2 science articles a day. But yeah, I hope you guys found this video useful. If you have any questions, comment them down below. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to go like, comment, and subscribe down below. Bye!